Gothic fiction began as a fight. For 50 years, the big names weren't just telling spooky stories, they were arguing in print about how fear should work. That's the point today. I'm going to show you the chain of replies from Horace Walpole in 1764 to Charles Maturin in 1820, with Radcliffe, Lewis, Godwin, and Austen throwing elbows along the way. By the end, you'll know who invented the rules, who broke them, and who tried to win the arms race. Then you can tell me where you stand, Team Terror or Team Horror, and whether Melmoth actually outdreads the monk. Quick setup. Gothic starts when writers mix medieval spectacle with the modern novel's realism. Haunted castles meet believable people. The early crowd didn't just write. They wrote prefaces, essays, and reviews telling us exactly what they thought they were doing. That paper trail lets us watch the feud unfold in real time. Horace Walpole publishes The Castle of Otranto anonymously, then owns it in the second edition and explains the recipe. Blend ancient romance with modern realism. He wants the marvelous anchored by probability. He even says he hopes better writers will take his new route further. Translation: I've opened the door, come improve this. Clara Reeve takes the dare. In the preface to The Old English Baron, she literally calls her book the literary offspring of Otranto and says she's using the same plan, old romance plus modern novel. Then she turns the screw. Walpole's wonders are too wild. His machinery, she says, is so violent it ruins the effect. She keeps the ghost but cuts the giant helmet. Her rule: stay within the utmost verge of probability, and the terror holds. Her novel is a repair job. Walpole's idea tightened. Anne Radcliffe makes the Gothic respectable and gives it a playbook. In Udolpho and the Italian, she floods the page with seemingly supernatural signs, moving portraits, strange music, apparitions, then explains everyone by natural causes. The fear is real, but the ghosts aren't. Later in On the Supernatural in Poetry, she draws the famous line, "Terror elevates and expands the mind. Horror contracts and freezes it." She doesn't call out Matthew Lewis by name, but come on, we all know who she means. Radcliffe sets a standard: hint, veil, suggest. Keep the reader's imagination working. Don't wallow in gore. Lewis takes that standard and lights it on fire. The monk goes all in on supernatural horror, bleeding specters, a demonic pact, sacrilege, sex, the works. He even cheerfully admits he borrows from German shudder tales. No rational explanations arrive to clean up the mess. Critics and readers freak out, which is exactly what he wants. Samuel Taylor Coleridge, reviewing it in 1797, praises the talent, but says Lewis has crossed the boundary where thrilling terror turns into vulgar disgust. That's the line of the decade. Radcliffe's suggestive fear versus Lewis's naked horror. The camps form. The school of terror and the school of horror. Pick a side. While they argue ghosts, William Godwin strips out the supernatural and keeps the engine: pursuit, paranoia, claustrophobia. In Things as They Are, or The Adventures of Caleb Williams, he vows in the preface to expose the modes of domestic and unrecorded despotism. No castles needed. The horror is legal, social, ordinary. He uses Gothic suspense to indict real power. It's a reply by subtraction. You can terrify without miracles because Things as They Are bad enough. So we've got Walpole's blend, Reeve's restraint, Radcliffe's manifesto, Lewis's blast radius, and Godwin's real-world dread. But what happens when the genre looks in the mirror and laughs at itself? Northanger Abbey is the sly audit. Austen's heroine worships Radcliffe and expects a haunted abbey. She snoops, suspects murder, and finds a laundry list. The lesson lands hard. Literature is delightful, but don't let it scramble your sense of everyday life. Austen isn't burning Gothic. She's trimming it. She name-drops Udolpho, winks at the horrid novels, and reminds us that the real tyrannies, greed, snobbery, patriarchy, look boring on the surface. It's a friendly slap on the wrist to an overheated genre. Enter Melmoth the Wanderer. Maturin, a preacher with a taste for brimstone, builds a labyrinth of nested tales about a man who sold his soul and hunts for a replacement. He wants to outdo everyone. Radcliffe's tension, Godwin's depth, Lewis's shock. One reviewer raves he can make you tremble as Radcliffe does and think as Godwin does. Everyone read Melmoth as the next move in the same contest, and yes, the echo carries forward. Oscar Wilde later travels under the alias Sebastian Melmoth. The feud leaves fingerprints everywhere. See the pattern? Walpole launches a method. Reeve trims the excess. Radcliffe codifies terror's rules. Lewis breaks them on purpose. Godwin redeploys the machinery for politics. Austen mocks the fandom just enough to reset expectations. Maturin pushes the dial one last time. Across prefaces, essays, and reviews, they quote each other, clap back, and plant flags. Contemporary readers knew it. Coleridge lines up Radcliffe against Lewis in print. Reviewers map Maturin to Radcliffe and Godwin. This isn't a neat bookshelf label. It's a live debate about how fear should feel and what it should do. So yes, early Gothic is a feud that evolves the genre in public. The thrill logic gets tested, refined, and detonated again and again. That's why the tradition stays fresh. Its writers keep arguing not only with us, but with the last book. Your turn. Whose method actually works on you? Radcliffe's veiled terror or Lewis's unapologetic horror? And where does Maturin land? Ultimate nightmare or brilliant Baroque overkill? Drop your verdicts and your best passages in the comments. If this scuffle through the crypts was your thing, stick around for more literary brawls. Until next time, keep your candles lit and your prefaces loaded.